First off, let me talk my... Got a couple things I gotta cross off my list. How you insomniac for sleeping on my... It's a bad soundtrack, read the script. Born in the motherland, headed straight down to the south. Tennessee mornings with pops, working 3 jobs. I knew that they struggled to get it, that's why I wanted to get it. That embedded you.
The folks here, they are bundled up, but they're ready for football as you get a look at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the New Orleans Saints and the Cleveland Browns. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
Christmas Eve here in 2022. A big slate today of Saturday games. But we will have, ready for this, a triple header of action on Christmas Day tomorrow. I think it's pretty safe to say we won't have a white Christmas in any of these places, however. We start with the Packers and Dolphins in Miami at 1 Eastern. Then you got the Broncos and Rams from Los Angeles. And then finally, the Bucs and Cardinals at 8:20 Eastern in the desert. Plus one more for good measure on Monday. Once the family's all gone back home and Grandma's puttered out of the house, grab the leftovers and sit back and watch the Chargers and the Colts from Indianapolis.
A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Watson off play action. Sliding out of the pocket. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And this will be incomplete. Physical. Play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. First carry for Nick Chubb. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Here's Watson. Swings this out for Hunt. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
The Browns at 8-6 now on the year. And they come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run. A up the middle. It's Chubb. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. 13-yard gain yet again, just like last play.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. He's going to have the hook up to Schwartz. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
On 2nd and 7, Watson. Oh, that'll be incomplete. He took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Love his pocket awareness, able to slip out of the sack. But once you take your eyes off the receivers, once your eyes come down and you see the rush, hard to get back downfield and find an open target. Fortunate, that one just wound up as an incomplete pass.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Faking the give. Now Watson. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 12-yard line. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback, because instead of forcing something on 3rd down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a 1st down.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They're looking at a 2nd and 8 now from the 10.
Chubb on the counter. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the 1st down as he's tackled at the 2. Quick throw completed by Watson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jakeem Grant, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Browns get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Now Cade York for the extra point. It's up and through to make it 7-0 Browns. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Meanwhile, Winston's throw caught by Olave. Finding room at midfield.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Jameis to throw it. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was his first target of the game, and it's going to take at least one more target to get him on the board. Took a nice substantial hit to jar that catch loose from him. Incomplete pass.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Again, it's Winston. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Well, that's one way you take away a 1st down as a defender. Make sure you have a little bit of physical play when the ball gets to the receiver. Find a way to jostle it free. They caught him off guard, forced the incompletion.
Fourth down, Winston. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And this Browns defense stands tall. Well, I guess they wanted to get that touchdown right back on their first drive, but failed to do so.
And what they have to be careful of is pushing so hard to stay right there, to stay even with their opponent, that they gas themselves out. You know, it's almost like horse racing. Sometimes you don't want to take your horse right to the front and let them do all the work and then someone catch them at the end and pass them up. You want to make sure you moderate what you're doing along the way and then go for the big finish.
The play over before it really got started thanks to Pete Werner.
They went with the run-pass option, and I don't know if the option really mattered there because the defense was ready.
So many times you put the defense at a disadvantage because you have those multiple options, but when they read their keys and play it correctly, sometimes the result goes in their favor.
On 2nd and 12, Watson escaping the pressure right. He's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. Will go down as a gain of 6. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Rolling to his right.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Alontae Taylor. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week, and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and he can't do it all on one throw.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8.
Winston. Flushed out right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
On 3rd down, Winston. Finding Taysom Hill complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a 1st down as well.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
And able to work his way down to the 16. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. To throw, Winston. And it's caught. Touchdown, Saints. Michael Thomas, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Saints are an extra point away from drawing level. Lutz with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. The Browns drive about to get started. They had the interception last drive, led to the tying touchdown, so 7-7 the score as they begin 1st and 10. Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end Njoku, and they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. Throw left side, there's Schwartz with it. And they're going to get this up to midfield. Three yards remain for second down. From the 50, it's Watson. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play. And he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb.
Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line.
10 more there and another first down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And he's going to be out, down inside the 20 at the 15. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. From the red zone now, Watson. Over the middle, that's caught by Schwartz. Touchdown, Browns! Anthony Schwartz, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Browns have taken the lead. The York on now for the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They trail a one-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. Winston. And now this. this is intercepted. My goodness.
Picked off by Grant Delpit. So they take a decent shot, CD, and the flag comes out for pass interference.
Yeah, a little DPI, as they like to call it in the business, right? And the farther you get downfield, the more frenetic things get, and the more calm and control you have to remain as a defender. That was a little bit of a slip there, and the penalty will go against him.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Winston to give. It's Kamara. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down.
Jordan Elliott never giving up. He works his way to the QB for a loss of 12. So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long. Tries the left side and finds Olave.
Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first. Running right, this is Ingram. Nice little juke. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Winston. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down. Throwing, Winston. And his throw is incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They go play action. Winston rolling to his left. And he'll just get rid of it.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
The offense on 3rd down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Winston. 2nd quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And that one off the mark. A little late with a throw. Winston to the sideline here on 4th down, and Will Lutz gets set for a New Orleans field goal try. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. The kick by Lutz is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why?
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Watson. The improvisation gets him only a couple, but that's all he needed. 1st down.
As it came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, No hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a first down.
On first down, it's Watson. He's going to float this one deep right side.
And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
Absolutely no disguise on that one. They just went for it. Put him out there and said, go deep. Let's try and hit him. Unfortunately, to no avail.
Second and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. One incompletion, two incompletion. They're going for more.
Throwing on third down, Watson. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. The screen does get him 9, but it also brings up a fourth down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on third and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
On fourth down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. Back deep, Jarvis Landry. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 31 yards on the punt there. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. First down, Winston.
That one almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be second down.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Now Chubb running right. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Watson on third down.
Got a man. It's Schwartz, complete.
Touchdown! Deshaun Watson with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half.
And the Browns will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by York is up and good.
And that makes it a 21-10 game.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And a mistake, a surprising mistake there in the kicking game as he sends that one out of bounds. A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Now Winston. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch. take the hit and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
To throw again on second down. Winston. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
And, off the crossbar, no good. A sensational effort from that distance, but rejected by the bar. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Browns drive about to get started. On 1st and 10, Watson. He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. And he spins past him and into space. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A very solid gain of 27.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Another completion here to Hunt. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. They go up the middle with Chubb. 48 yards on the ground for him so far.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. Watson on 1st down. And this one is incomplete.
It sort of looks like they stopped some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Watson. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. Touchdown, Browns. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game.
And the Browns take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by York is up and good.
And the lead is up to 18 now. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. They got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara.
And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. On 2nd down, Ingram. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner, because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 44-yard line. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Again, it's Kamara.
And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. 44 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Winston's throw caught by Olave.
Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Being chased out left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
So they need 6 yards here on third down. They're 2 for 2 on third down tries so far on this drive. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up fourth down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Desperation time. Winston on fourth down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And this Browns defense stands tall. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, giving him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 11 more on that one and another first down. Hunt will try going up the middle. Room here to run. The 20. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a first down. On first down, they go right back to Hunt. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Kareem Hunt, his third rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs. And I think they're going to at least take a look at this. Hunt will score. Touchdown, Cleveland. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
Extra point by York is up and good. And they open the lead up now to 25. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on fourth down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't want to get to a fourth down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
And he is going to lose yardage here. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Returnable for Grant. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard. But they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives. And I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Second down, here's Chubb again. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. He'll buy some time right. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. And they'll get to this and touch it. Looks like, right at the 15-yard line here. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Here's Winston. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Winston. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Open man is Michael Thomas. And he's got to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. To the air again with Winston. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Now Winston. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by John Johnson. And the Browns are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Nice chunk of yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You can go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Cleveland, it's a critical win for them as it gets them to 9-6 on the year.
And they will hit the road next week to take on Washington.
Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they hit double digits in losses as they fall to 5-10. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.